Hello, welcome to the first Ross Plaskow animation live stream. Because it's the first one, I think I'm going to do something very, very simple today. All we're going to do is make this character go from here to here. How are we going to do that? Let's get right into it. I have a pre-made rig, which I made. If you want to see how to make rigs, I'll do another live stream showing you how to make this rig. The main control is the crotch. The legs are rigged with Rubberhose's new rubber rig function. And let's just get right into it. I'm going to be animating purely on hold keyframes. Take the positions of the crotch and the feet, make them hold keyframes, put them at the beginning of the section, and make a new set of keyframes and just move them over here. The power of animation, ladies and gentlemen, the power of animation. Now, that's not very interesting. We're going to have to make him walk. Let's put in the middle pose. So halfway between this and this, we're going to pop a little keyframe in. Pop a little keyframe. We're going to animate the rotation of the feet, I'm guessing, and probably the paths of the feet so we can change the shape. Let's see all that. Pop them at the beginning, set up some new ones. I hate having to scroll through these keyframes, so I'm going to make them really close together. And we'll widen them as we animate. Okay. Let's say he's halfway through a step. So his right foot should be just... That's what the middle of a step looks like, isn't it? And if your left foot is going back, that means your left arm should be going forwards. So let's rotate it a little bit. It is already actually rotated forwards, but let's just do a bit extra, a little bit extra. Just setting up the key poses. Left arm, left hand. There we go. Not that. Make this go back a little bit. And that too. Okay, so we have 3 poses. That, and that. A smart person would probably do the in-betweens between these 3 poses, but I'm going to do another pose just as he's about to start walking. So when you're about to walk to the right, you usually shift your weight to the left. So let's see what we can do here. So just as he's about to start walking, he'll shift. Although, okay, yeah, that's fine. Remember which foot you're going to be starting with. Whoops. So you can see the middle pose is his right foot is on the floor, so that should be, I mean, I wonder if he'll be able to reach that far. Is that going to be a stretch? Let's do the in-betweens between this pose and that pose. Pop him this far. Grab these keyframes, copy and paste. It is a bit of a stretch. A little bit of a stretch. Maybe I'll just make the this the position less far. So that will be the size of the step. And then I'll copy and paste these and we'll put him back to a comfortable position there. Same with this. Okay, so he's about to... let's lift his foot up a little bit, rotate it. We want his left foot to sort of roll, but it's lifting at the moment. Maybe we should change the shape of it. Trying to make it roll on the toe. That's a roll. That is a successful roll. I must be a baker because that is one successful looking roll. Whoop. When both of your legs are like this, that means that your body is lower. So we should lower the body. Just slightly. Your body is at its highest when one of your feet, when you're stood on one foot and that foot is straight, just like that. His body should probably be a bit lower there. Yeah. So at the moment it looks like this. A little bit fast. There's an update for Camera Raw CC. Something I have never used. Let's pop an in-between between this position and this position. Move him along. Bring his left foot down like it's about to stamp down on the floor. Maybe even make it a little bit longer because it has some perspective on it, I believe. Should probably get a ground line so that we know exactly where the ground is. Is that where the ground is? Is that perfect? Dude. Dude. Yeah. For perspective, the heel is going to be a tiny bit higher than the toe, so the heel isn't going to hit the ground line dead on, just for perspective reasons. The rig is fucking up a little bit here, but we'll sort that out. Maybe the step shouldn't be such a stretch. Let's move this back a little bit. That foot should be rolling. Rock and roll. That's a roll. Yeah. Shit. There's going to have to be another step. Or I could just say, because, you know, I'm in charge, I could just say that the final pose is somewhere a little bit nearer. Yeah, let's just say that the final pose is there. I'm just trying to keep this as simple as possible. This is my first ever live stream. I don't really want to overdo it. Let's just test it out. At the moment, it looks like this. Pretty terrible. Too fast. Poses are wrong. Let's instead of making him his arms should be rotating there. I'm just going to shut up for a bit and just you'll see my thinking. Try and get a nice swing with the arm. So have the top of the arm move backwards and then have the bottom of the arm rotate. Let's concentrate on the right arm. Okay, so that's pretty fast, obviously. Let's space out the keyframes and then we'll work out where we should in between. Okay, so there looks like there's a massive gap here. So let's fill that in with some in-betweens. You can see the massive gap with the crotch layer. So the left foot, I think it's the left foot. Down to the floor. And let's pull up the right foot. Rotate it round a little bit. Make it the normal shape. Rotate it maybe even a little bit more. Let's rotate these. Okay, so we have the main poses. We just need to add in a few more extra in-betweens. Maybe his left arm should go forward at the end and then bounce back when he stops. Maybe I should be working on a lower resolution. Yeah, so it should be forward here and then bounce back, left arm bot, like that. And then just look at the number. So left arm top, I want it to be, it's +5 there, so I want it to be less than that. And it is, but maybe that's a little bit too less. Maybe we want it just one degree too far. And then what is it for the left arm bot? -5. So 1 degree further than that would be -6, and it's currently -15, so that is awful. And then that means this frame before we can have it rotating back that way. And maybe his back arm should rotate back too far there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's looking nice. I feel like this is going well. Do you think this is going well? This is okay. Check the feet are okay. Oh, obviously that left foot needs a little bit of work. Maybe it could be pulled in at the end. So the final pose should be that. But then we should copy and paste the... We should take the position that it's at here, put it here, so that he kind of brings it in at the end, like this. Mm-hmm. Now we just have to find a way of making that look nice, because at the moment it doesn't. Maybe he could be lifting it here. Yeah. Let's carry on adding more in-betweens. Maybe here. Maybe instead of putting the in-between directly in the middle, we want a little bit of an ease. So let's put it over here, so that he's starting off slow and accelerating. Mm-hmm. And let's work out the difference. You see his arms need to be rotating there. Let's work out the difference between that rotation and the next rotation. So right arm top +4 at the moment, and the next one is +9. So maybe we'll rotate it a bit more, but just a bit, because we're starting slow and then we're going to accelerate. So we're still starting slow at the beginning here. -11, -3, so I guess 2 degrees. I'm just looking at the back arm at the moment, just working out what to do. Because limbs, in my opinion, it looks good when limbs kind of flop. If one part of a limb drags behind, that looks nice. Like if your arm turns all at once like this, that's not interesting. What you want to see is the bottom, like fluid, like that. You see? Let's get an in-between for the foot. Let's get another in-between. Where we're over here. Or maybe up here. And check your arcs. Look at the shape of where where you're going. Just going to copy and paste this and then reference back. You see that? But that looks like a little bit of a sudden rotation, so I'm going to rotate this a little bit more beforehand. And maybe it is a little bit too much. Let's lessen it. Okay, but we haven't animated the arms in either of these in-betweens. Actually, we have down here. So let's finish this one and then do the in-betweens for the left arm up there. Mine, +8 to 9, that's nothing really. Oh, fuck! What was that? We're doing this one. Well, maybe at this point, because the frames are so close together, we can just turn them into linear frames, and then it will in between itself make another linear frame, and then turn them into hold frames. The After Effects is able to in between for you once the key poses are good enough. Then you can turn to linear and it will in between for you. So let's get this left arm fixed. We want it to swing backwards. Well, not swing backwards. We want the top to swing forwards, but the bottom of the arm to be backwards because it's delayed, which will make it look a little bit straighter. In my opinion, when it goes back a little bit too far. It's a little bit sudden. And I know we haven't in between, but it just looks a little bit extreme. Okay, let's keep in betweening. More in between, more crotch. And I guess we can we need to get the foot from there to there. What is that with that? Hmm. Let's just shrink this a bit. That foot looks a bit bad turning up that far. Oops, wrong foot. Position. Okay, let's in between this. Let's just get through this and then we'll work out where there needs to be extra in-betweens. Let's get this as close as we can. Now the left foot. That's actually in between like that. Almost there. Am I making some funny faces? I've heard I make funny faces when I concentrate. Okay, left foot. Let's bring it in as close as we can to the final. In fact, I'm just going to copy and paste the final keyframes and then just move them slightly off so that it's like an ease. Maybe a little bit further. Oh, we need to animate the arms. Top, so that's it's only a matter of 1 degree difference. And if we're gonna easy ease, then we should make it a small percentage of a degree. But I don't like how that clicks, that right arm click. It's because it needs an in-between. Let's just do it the automatic way just to get this live stream over with. Just so you guys know the basics of this technique. This looks a little bit quick, doesn't it? Maybe he needs to bend forward when he stops so that his weight shifts to the right. His crotch can rotate like that. Well, that looks stupid. It's a little bit too far. Well, that looks rubbish. You should hold forward for longer. Okay. Maybe that's a little bit too far. So I'm going to highlight all of these times by 0.5, so that should halve the amount. That's a lot better. Maybe we should rotate his head as well. Haven't even rotated his head, not once so far. Careless. Here it should rotate back. And when he stops, it should rotate forward. And a little bit more forward. And then back. Well, that looks... the head rotation should be a bit more delayed than that. And also a bit slower, maybe ease into it a little bit. So I'm putting it up by 0.3 so that it goes into 0, so that's an ease. I feel like the arms stop rotating quite suddenly now. Maybe they should go too far and bounce back. To here. I'm going to delete these. Ooh. Okay, so what is the final rotation? It's +5. Okay. So it's rotating too far and then it's rotating back. Same with the other arm. Let's change the other arm. Delete this. Should it rotate too far that way or too far that way? Let's try both. Let's make an easy ease, but make the in-between there, and then move that to the middle so that it is eased. Yep, that'll do it. That's good for now, I think. See you next time on the next live stream where we'll be doing something a little bit more complicated.